Hello, I'm Steven, the Teen Services Coordinator at the Denham Springs-Walker Branch Library. Welcome to STEAM Saturdays with Steven. Here are our rules. Rule number 1, if you're going to do any of the experiments with me from home, always have an adult. Luckily for me, I have my camera lady, Miss Rena. Hi, Rena. Okay. Rule number 2, follow the video instructions exactly as presented. Rule number 3, never put anything in your mouth or eat anything unless told to do so. Rule number 4, always use safety equipment. I have gloves and goggles today. All right, on to today's science. Today, we are going to take a closer look at surface tension. Surface tension is the tendency of liquid surfaces to shrink into the minimum surface area as possible. We're going to observe this property today by counting out how many water droplets we can fit on a penny versus how many we can fit on a dime. To do this experiment with me from home, you will need to gather the following items: 1 penny, 1 dime, a medicine dropper, but I'm going to use a pipette, something to write with, some paper towels, and something to write on. I'm going to be using this dry erase board. The first thing you're going to need to do is create a chart like I have here. You'll put your coin type, or your hypothesis, and the data that we're going to observe, a row for your dime and a row for your penny. Okay, so we're going to take a moment to write down our best guess on how many droplets we think we can fit on a penny versus how many we can fit with a dime. So pause the video and discuss this with your adult. Rena, how many droplets do you think we can fit on a penny and a dime?
37 on a penny.
37.
And 23 on a dime.
23. You are optimistic. Let's see what we can do. So you'll take your pipette or your medicine dropper and you'll get your water. And then let's start with the dime. Ooh, let's make it, oh my goodness, pipettes are not good. Okay, start with our dime. Make sure it's flat and we'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 39. You are not optimistic. 39. So, now that we know that 39 fit on a dime, should we reevaluate our 37 or should we just count? Let's just count. On to the penny. Let's make sure our penny is flatter than our dime was. Penny. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 46. Looks like our number. 46. Amazing. That's what I call surface tension. Surface tension results from the liquid molecules being attracted to each other due to cohesion more than they are attracted to the molecules of the air due to adhesion. The result is an inward force at the surface that causes the liquid to behave more like it was stretched with an elastic covering. Surface tension is what allows an insect, usually more dense than water, to glide across the surface of a lake. Speaking of density, moving on to our next experiment. Our next experiment is all about density. If you're following along at home, you will need the following items. You will need a spoon, at least 3 uncooked eggs. You will need some salt, and you will need 3 clear containers and a dry erase marker. First, you will take your first container and write earth on it and fill it about 3/4 of the way full with just some water. You will take your second container and write the word moon on it and fill it about halfway with water. And then your third jar, you can write Jupiter on it and just leave it empty. In your second container, make sure it was warm water. I apologize for not telling you that at first. And you will need to put a generous amount of salt in, usually around a cup, multiple tablespoons of salt, and then stir it until it dissolves and is no longer cloudy. I think stirring mine made mine more cloudy. Okay, so take your first egg and place it in your earth container. This will represent the density and gravity we experience on Earth. Notice how the egg sits at the bottom of the glass, just like we walk on the surface of the Earth. Take your second egg and put it in your moon container. Notice how the egg floats just above the bottom of the container. This represents the density and gravity we experience on the moon. We're still heavy enough not to float away, but we're not heavy enough to entirely stay on the ground at all times. This happens because the density of the Earth and the density of the moon. And the size of the Earth versus the size of the moon changes our own body mass. So we weigh more on Earth than we do on the moon because the Earth is larger than the moon. So, taking what we know about the Earth and the moon and our gravity of the Earth and the moon, what do you think would happen if our little astronaut went to Jupiter? Should we take a look? Perhaps we shouldn't go to Jupiter. All right, well, that includes our first STEAM Science Saturdays with Stephen. Join us every day. We post new content. Mondays we do story times. Tuesdays we do crafts. Wednesdays we have Wiggle Wednesdays. Thursdays we do book talks. And Fridays we will have fun family programs for everyone. And join me every Saturday for STEAM Saturdays. See you next time.